Good morning, ladies. It is Barbara, your menopause drama mama, and have a daily dose of me today, all about 30 menopause symptoms that doctors rarely talk about. And and I was thinking about this, that if not a book for, women to read, and I know there's menopause books out there, I know doctors have done them, but why are we not getting a pamphlet, at least at the minimum, when we go, in our 30s, late 30s, a pamphlet from our doctor, whether it is our OBGYN or whether it is, a general practitioner, that during this time they give us a pamphlet and just listing symptoms for us. Because if a doctor had to go through every symptom that a woman would go through, it would be hours. You would be hours at a doctor's office for them trying to explain everything that we could go through. And, maybe you'd go through them, maybe you wouldn't. But at least if we walked out of a doctor's office, during our late 30s with a pamphlet that just listed things, and that what you may or may not expect, like these things could happen to you. And it is just a heads up. And if you have any of these symptoms starting up, those are your red flash warnings that we need to do something to start correcting what is happening when we lose estrogen. And estrogen receptors, they exist throughout our entire body. It's in the skin, it's in the brain, it's in our bones, it's in our heart, and in our digestive system. So that's why menopause can affect so many parts of our bodies and in ways that we never even expected. And I will tell you, I did not expect so many of these symptoms to show up in my life, and nobody to help me out to tell me what was going on other than me thinking I was going freaking crazy. That's what I thought. I'm either going crazy or I am dying right now. And that was so hard to go through. And I don't want women to do that. I don't want them to feel dismissed and not know what is happening in their body during this time. So, I just want to say, this lady right here, Medea. Now, I love her movies. And if you can't just read some of the things that she has said in the movies, I enjoy her movies so much. They just crack me up. And I don't know if you like Medea, but if you can, sometime just sit and watch one of her movies because they're awesome. Tyler Perry did a great job when he created this character of himself in these movies. But all right, let's get on to all the symptoms, the 30 symptoms that, doctors rarely ever talk about. And the first is up in the nervous system and your brain, for brain fog. Yeah, they talk about brain fog like it's nothing. But you have trouble concentrating during this time, and you could really have a hard time remembering words like I did. Anxiety appears like out of nowhere during this time. Anxiety attacks galore I had every day. I would have an anxiety panic attack if I would be driving and realized I didn't have a bottle of water in my car. It was things like my brain just could not wrap itself around, and I had a really hard time trying to be able to calm myself down then. Another symptom that you can have is electric shock sensations. I don't remember ever experiencing those, which thank God, because I experienced so many of these other symptoms. But you can also have tingling in your hands and your feet. You can have dizziness or be lightheaded. And you can, your sleep changes by waking up like at 3 a.m. But me, I'd go to bed at 11 and I woke up at 1 a.m. So, it's a hard, difficult time during this whole transition that women go through. The next one is, things that doctors rarely talk about is your skin, your hair, and your sensory changes. You can have very itchy skin with no rash. You can have crawling skin sensations. You can have dry eyes and blurry vision. I can say I have that still, and I've had itchy skin with, no rash. Hair thinning and your hair texture changes. Increased facial hair. I have not had that one. Thank you. I'm glad I skipped over that one. Body odor changes. That one I did have. I would take a shower, and when I would dry off, I'd be like, my underarms still smelled really bad. And I was like, I don't know how much I have to scrub under there to get that odor off. So that was another one that I had experienced. Your mouth, your teeth, and your ears. Burning mouth syndrome you can experience. You can have a metallic taste in your mouth. Dry mouth, I still have that. And today I am getting my, I think I reordered and I got a triple dose from Sports Research on omega-3s. And when I was researching it, it said since I do experience a lot of these symptoms, to start off with a double dose of the omega-3s. So that's what I plan on doing today as soon as I get my Amazon in the mail. The next one is gum sensitivity and recession. I have that. Ringing in the ears. I have not had that one. Thank you. Next up is muscle, joints, and connective tissue. You can get frozen shoulder, Achilles tendon pain, joint stiffness or plantar fasciitis, and I had that. Foot pain. Muscles take longer to recover after we exercise. Next up is your cardiovascular and circulation system. Heart palpitations, I had them severely. Sudden chills or cold flashes, nope, skip that one over. And blood pressure changes. Under digestive and metabolic, we have bloating and digestive changes. I suffered from that. Sudden weight gain around the abdomen, yep, check that one off my list too. And under hormone-related tissue changes, you can have breast tenderness and shrinking breast tissue. And I have had that, and I am going to do a whole video on how our breasts change after we hit these years. And I know mine are like, they're kissing the freaking ground now instead of saluting the sun. And I don't know, I've done exercising, there's videos that say you can do these exercises and it'll perk them up. I'm sorry, they have not done that, and I don't need no surgery to lift them back up, so I guess we're just going to deal with them, kissing the dirt instead of, saluting the sun. You can also suffer from extreme fatigue even if you get enough sleep during this time. So ladies, if you can, if you know any women at all in their 30s, let them know that this channel exists. And I know some of them will probably just be like, whatever. But, if it could just open the eyes of another woman to let them know what they could be experiencing in the next few years. And another thing that I really wish doctors would do is run a test that checks our hormones, at least in our mid-20s or late 20s, in our mid-30s, and then checking every year in our 40s to see where the hormones are, so they have it on record when they can start seeing our hormones drop and alerting us that we should start changing and maybe adding HRT into our system so we can ward off horrible menopause symptoms like the 30 that I had just listed. Okay, ladies, thank you for tuning in to me today. I hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are in this world. Um, and I will talk to you very soon in another video. Have a wonderful day. Sending love, hugs, high vibrations, tons of blessings coming your way. Mwah. Bye-bye, ladies.